Welcome back to the channel and random events in history. Today, the date to review is roughly July 30th, 1975, as we are going over the disappearance of Jimmy Hoffa. Let's begin. James Riddle Hoffa, known as Jimmy Hoffa, born February 14th, 1913, was a former president of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. During his time with the Union, he had become involved in organized crime. He was convicted on charges of fraud, jury tampering, and attempted bribery. He was blocked from participating in Union activities instead of serving the remaining 8-year sentence as a part of a pardon agreement with then-acting President Richard Nixon. Don't you worry, we'll get to him in a different episode. Try as he might to reverse the block on Union activities, and facing a great deal of resistance in his attempts to grow back into power, he intended to begin a comeback in Detroit, Michigan, where most of his support was positioned. Needless to say, that's not how it worked out. On July 30th, 1975, Hoffa had traveled to the Mash's Fox restaurant in Detroit with the intention to meet up with two high-ups in the Mafia, Anthony Giacalone and Anthony Provenzano. He showed up at around 2, and after waiting for a half an hour, he called his wife, discouraged and more than a little irked. He told her he'd wait just a little bit longer, then come home, but that didn't happen. That night, his wife called the police to report him missing when he did not come home. His car was left unlocked in the parking lot, and he was last reported seen in a maroon 1975 Mercury Marquise, speeding out of the parking lot. 7 years later, a death certificate was issued, and Jimmy Hoffa was declared dead. What makes this disappearance so bizarre and mysterious is although Hoffa was an extremely well-known individual, and despite the huge mass media attention given to the search, no evidence at all was ever found, no smidgen of a lead, and no chance of discovery. However, this is where it gets a little weird. Rumors have been spread rampant of where Jimmy Hoffa's body is laid to rest. Some say he is buried in Giants Stadium. Some say Richard Kuklinski, a mafia contract killer nicknamed the Iceman, killed him, then burned his body in a 55-gallon drum that was then compacted and shipped to Japan as scrap metal. Some even say that he's buried in a field not even far away from the restaurant where he was last seen. But the truth is, frankly, we just don't know. And unless the body turns up, it's safe to say it's gonna stay that way. The disappearance of Jimmy Hoffa is one of, if not the most famous missing persons case in American history, and its influence on pop culture cannot be underestimated, being referenced everywhere from Dexter to Bruce Almighty to The Simpsons to Saturday Night Live, with so many others in between. The mystery surrounding the disappearance of Jimmy Hoffa is legendary, and it will continue to perplex this nation forever. Thank you for watching another brief video, and thank you for your continued support. I hope you join me again next time for another random event in history. Have a good night.